On today's show, how screwed are the Dallas Mavericks? Not this season, but in the future. Let's go Nico Harrison's future, 4 years, and let's go deep future, 10 years on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm here because I have to be here.
Explain yourself.
Sorry.
You are Locked On Mavs.
Great, Rusty.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
And welcome to your Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Dallas Mavericks for 10 years, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being an everyday and making Locked On Mavs your first listen. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member, the prediction princess, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Had a pretty good Sunday. Got to see Kyrie Irving have some fun moments in the All-Star game. It's cool seeing him representing the Mavs. Honestly, better than front office has over the past 2 weeks. So Kyrie's got to carry it all. But more importantly, went to my first daddy-daughter dance.
Oh, daughter's how old?
She is 5.
Oh,
Well, she turned 5 this week, so I'll say she's 5.
close enough.
Just an incredible night. Went out to eat. It was a lot of fun. She even gave me a little like Valentine that she had made, and she wrote for some reason she wrote Mavericks on it too.
Nice.
Like something that I like. And she spelled Mavericks Mavreks. Mavericks. And so anyway, had a lot of fun with her. She's the best.
That's great.
Missed the first like half of All-Star game, and and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
You didn't miss much.
good.
No, you didn't miss much.
Didn't miss much.
We did one more thing about the All-Star weekend, about Adam Silver's comments about Luka. So go check out that wherever you're listening, watching this. There'll be that in the feed or on YouTube and podcast wherever you're getting that. Today's episode, we're talking about the future. We're going into the future. We haven't talked about the Mavs past like this season yet after the trade. And so let's post-trade go through. We're going to talk about which teams do the Mavs stack up? How do teams stack up with the Mavs 10 years from now? Like going out that far into the future, our actual future of the franchise. But let's start here, Isaac. How screwed are the Mavs right now? That's my big question starting, because we've been talking about this trade and we've been talking about the Luka trade and saying it's very short-sighted. You cut the window of your team probably in half, maybe less than that. You've made a really good team now with Anthony Davis and all that. And we're not talking about this season. We're just talking about, in general, this team as it's constructed now and next season. And, let's try and throw injuries out the window just for a minute. Can we just please, just for a minute, throw these injuries out the window? But how screwed are the Mavericks right now? What things do you start looking at when you try and see, all right, what do the Mavericks have in the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think it's just less predictable. I think every organization in football, it feels like they really focus on, you got to find the next quarterback, right? Like you just have to have a franchise quarterback most of the time to be a really good team or a Super Bowl team. In the NBA, it's not like a specific position, but you got to have that star. Like you got to have the generational star, and you got to find them, you got to draft them, you got to luck into them like the Lakers. You have to just like, you just got to find that guy. You look at the Spurs and it's like, all right, you got Wemby, and it's just like, this is who you're building around. This is your fan base is like building that, like, here's the expectation. You figure out how long it's going to take until you're going to be good. And then bam, you are like a win now title contending team, hopefully with one of those like A+ stars for years to come. You get an Anthony Edwards, you get an SGA, you see these teams that you land on that guy, whoever gets Cooper Flag, like this is the guy. Like you're like, all right, sweet. We found that guy. Like we got to have that guy. Well, the Mavericks traded away theirs. So now you're kind of like resetting that expectation and saying like, well, at some point we got to go, like, we got to find that piece. Like we got to find that again. And like, good luck. Like it's hard to find those type of young pieces. You look across at the, different teams, different franchises, they're still, draft pick after draft pick. And some of them are striking out. They lose, injuries or whatever it is. And it's like, it's so hard to find that cornerstone player. Doesn't mean all hope is lost at all, but it's just like, whenever you're a team or a franchise and you land on and you get your hands on a generational young player, then it gives you at least a little bit of expectation or what is kind of predictable most of the time, for the next decade.
I start looking through. Yeah, there's less that's unknown, right? The title window is supposed to be all right. Luka. Now all of a sudden the window is open. They made the finals. The window is open for the next 5-6 years, maybe a little bit more than that.
Well, because as a Mavs fan, it's like everything you're tracking is how old Luka has been. And so for like 7 years, it's like, all right, he's 20, he's 21. And it's like the general timeline of a star player. Yeah, well, it's like, all right, you get the like mid-20s to like, however long, early 30s, you're like prime of his career. So like in your mind, even those first few years of Luka, you're like, all right, we're not even there yet. But once we hit this stretch of years, then we're like, you're going for the title and have one of those guys in every single, year you're going into for these, this stretch of years. Well, now you're not following the Luka age timeline, especially as a fan. So now you're like, it's just less predictable. You don't know what the future holds for your team.
You've got Anthony Davis, who's going to be 32 in March this year. Kyrie's going to be 33 in March. Klay just turned 35. So those are your older guys. You've got 4 guys in their prime: Gafford, PJ, Najee, and Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin's 29. You've got young pieces in Max Christie and Dereck Lively. And that's kind of where you are. So you've got with AD
Max.
With AD and Kyrie, you've got Hardy. With AD and Kyrie, you've got 2, maybe 3 more seasons of contention. And that third season, you're going to have to add some more offense, because I don't know if Kyrie's going to be able to handle the same amount of load 3 years from now when he's 36 years old, right? Yeah. And so are the Mavs screwed? I don't think for the next 3 years they're not, right? Like I'm just going to start there, because they also have their pick this season that's 18th right now, and you're a game and a half away from the lottery and 2 games back from 22. So you're like right in that range. So you at least have a pick this year. You also have your pick in 2026. So you've got some tradable things. You've got some things like that. You've got some young pieces that could get better. Max Christie could take a leap. Dereck Lively could take a leap. You're not screwed for the next 3 years unless the injuries do what they did this season. That's what I'm going to start there.
Yeah. For the sake of conversation, let's just assume healthy and look at how young.
General health.
Well, yeah, just general health and stuff. It's like, I kind of look at like the young pieces and say like Lively, Christie, and then if you want to throw PJ in there, 26. And it's like, I kind of just put those 3 together. And then your core of like AD and Kyrie. And then you have all these like expendable pieces like Klay and Najee and Gafford and Caleb Martin and, stuff like that. Like I don't put Klay as like part of the core moving forward just because of his age. And it's like, yeah, you said like, for the next, 2 to 3 years. I mean, heck, Nico even said it. All right. So like, what kind of the timeline he's going for to win title over the next few years. This is why they're going to throw everything at Kevin, to try to get Kevin Durant this summer and get that scoring help. Right now they're going to try everything to win a title over the next, 1 to 3 years. So yeah, are they screwed in the next 1 to 3 years? You don't have the ceiling of a Luka Doncic in the playoffs and what you've seen Luka do. But you are going to be going for it, and you do have all-star, top 15, 25, players, and you're going to try to go get somebody big this offseason too. So,
and because of that, they're screwed in the future. How screwed? We'll tell you about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Hungry Root. Go check out Hungry Root, because when it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've always had this ongoing problem. I have it right now. I just don't have the time between work and Mavs trades and things happening and all kinds of news all the time. I want to try to eat healthier. I want to have that work-life balance. I've been trying to work out more, and there's just not enough time for everything. So check out Hungry Root, because it's game changer. It's the easiest way to eat healthy without all the stress. With Hungry Root, it's like having a personal shopper and a nutritionist all in one. They take care of my grocery shopping, recommending meals and groceries based on my taste and health goals, from anti-inflammatory to high protein and gluten-free options. The best part, every meal is ready in, I don't believe this, I really don't, 15 minutes or less. Nuts. I'm talking quick, healthy meals that actually taste great, all delivered straight to my door. It's a huge time saver and made me eat healthy, and it made it so much simpler. Check out Hungry Root if you love it as much as we do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box and a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA and use that code LockedOnNBA. hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA. Don't miss out.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, what we call our listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. Check out our Locked On Mavs text line. You can text us, text the number, and you can get text straight to you. Isaac was answering a bunch of questions earlier today. I'll send you every rumor and every note, everything like that. Game days, injury updates, everything like that. Check the link in the description or the QR code to find out how to subscribe to our text line. All right, Isaac, you mentioned it. I think you mentioned it before. That's the key. They're going to go all in. So all these assets we're looking at, even a Max Christie, maybe a Dereck Lively, hold your breath, a 2025 pick, a 2026 pick, the 2031 pick, it's all on the table. The expendable guys you mentioned before, Gafford, PJ, Najee, Caleb Martin, Omax, Hardy, like anybody, Klay Thompson, nothing's sacred anymore. Everything's on the table around AD and Kyrie the next 2 to 3 years to try and win a title right now, because they have to. Because if they don't, then Nico Harrison's getting fired, or the owners give up, or I don't know what will happen, right? But I think that mentality will change, because I started looking at the pieces and I said, all right, you got 22-year-old Max Christie, you got a 21-year-old Dereck Lively, you've got your 2 draft picks the next 2 years, so you can build around some young talent there, and all of a sudden build like a nice core. And maybe when AD and Kyrie aren't good enough, then you're bad enough that you bounce back and get one of those draft picks again, and you're doing this whole song and dance all over again, right? But because of the mentality that they're going to have, I think that all those assets kind of go out the window.
Yeah, that's the kind of scary part about it is like, all right, well, are we going to watch a bunch of this stuff, or the things that they do have, the young pieces or the future assets, go out the door this summer? It could be worse draft pick wise, right? You could be like the Phoenix Suns, and you don't have, any picks, or, some bad pick swaps and all of that. You look at, what they, outside of 2027 right now, they'll at least have a first round pick all the other years going to 2031. There's a couple pick swaps in there, one with San Antonio, one with OKC.
Even the 2027 one is top 2 protected. So,
well, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, 2027
pick will most likely go to Charlotte.
Yeah.
In that, but still, it's you have you're going to get a lot of, not say a lot of picks. Your picks are going to be there for the most part right now. You do have Christie and Lively and stuff. So it could be worse. And I think that's when you start looking at the other teams out there of what could it be worse than? It's you look at a team like Brooklyn. I don't think there's a ton of young pieces on Brooklyn that you're looking at saying, yes, those are built around guys that, that's going to be here for the long haul, or they don't have, a young stud like a Luka or Wemby or something like that. Or, okay, well, you got some draft picks. You're not looking at anything. When you look at what even the pieces of Lively and Christie, you see the roles that they can play. You've seen your young stud of a center play in the NBA finals. You see the role that he had as you beat OKC, as you beat Minnesota and stuff, and the impact that he had. So what kind of player he is, what impact he can have. You see a guy like Max Christie, and it's so defined of the role that a guy like Max Christie could have. We already threw out there a Danny Green type, and what the type of player Max Christie is, and the role player. So it's you have these pieces that fits, but you got what's the long-term star of that, and in the short term, I think that's the biggest dream scenario for me is if you go into the summer, I get it, you're going to chase a Kevin Durant or another win now player, but can you get that other win now player without sacrificing like Christie, Lively. Can you try to accomplish both right now and go for it and, try to add another talent this summer, but also keep some of your future intact too? That's where I'll be the most happy if they could do that.
I don't think they'll be able to do that.
Shut up, Nick.
I think it's going to be very hard, but we just saw
Durant's an expiring contract though. So
I don't think he's going to take everything, but I do also think that we just saw Luka get traded for AD and Christie in a first. So
okay, real quick.
You know what I mean? Like
this. Okay. I think we have to make the decision now. I wish everybody in NBA could just make the decision now to not compare anything to Luka. So ridiculous. It's so much stuff had to line up for it to be just absolutely, stupid. And because one of the things I hear now that's just like killing me is like, even the players are saying, well, nobody's untouchable now. I'm like, really? Really? Out of all the years that we've had one time in which a coffee date at Ascension decided to trade a 25-year-old star. So it's like, I don't think that we're looking around the league saying, SGA, you packing? Like, Anthony Edwards, do you have your suitcase? Like, come on. Like, just because Luka got traded in this bizarre, weird, dumb fashion, like, and for the return and all this stuff, I don't think we can look at it and be like, hey, Luka only got back AD and the pick and Max Christie. Or if Luka got traded, then Wemby, don't like the Riverwalk too much. He might be going somewhere. It's like, I don't think we can compare anything to this Luka trade.
Wemby refuses to put on weight. No, I agree.
Wemby's up to 170 now.
I agree. And I think that I can't ever go to Ascension ever again. Like, I just think that place is ruined.
I was at a place the other day where Ascension used to be and it closed down, and I was like, close them all down.
Just shut it down. Let's go home.
Sorry if you listen and you work at Ascension. I'm
sorry. I apologize if you're watching or listening to this at an Ascension. Just leave. I don't know. Just walk out, pay your bill, and go. But
sponsor the pod.
Yeah, you stop.
That would be a heck of an ad read. Spot's brought to you by Ascension, the place where Luka got traded.
Great decisions are made at Ascension Coffee Houses.
Whatever.
You imagine?
Anyway, it could be worse. It could be better.
But you think I think they're gonna leverage all the picks and maybe one of those two young guys for something right now. And it might be
depends on what it is, right? Like KD is gonna be what? I don't know, 48. Like how
he'll be 30. He'll be 37.
37 expiring contract. He's probably gonna if he does get it traded, he's probably gonna want it and want to pick the location, too. And
he'll cost less.
And I also don't feel like Phoenix is still gonna want to win with Booker and stuff. So that's why it's I think Dallas could send some win now type of what you think they're gonna rebuild.
No, I just think win now with Booker. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean,
can we still make fun of Devin Booker even though Luka's gone? Can we still do that?
I don't know what I can make fun of now. I know, because then anybody can just fire back and just I just want to fire off tweets and make fun of other fan bases. I'm like, dude, one tweet back is hey, your team traded Luka. I'm like, valid. Why am I even online?
Fair. What's the point? I'm just gonna log off and go to Ascension.
I can't say anything for 25 years.
But would you be okay if they did that and just went all in for a Kevin Durant or a piece this summer and leverage the future? What we're talking about right now.
No. If you're telling me it's Lively, Christie, and a couple picks with some salary stuff, no.
But they can't do any half measures. Now you can't. You already did the full one. You went full in to right now with AD trade.
I would entertain some picks before I would entertain some of the young guys.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, some of the young guys, there's only two. So
yeah. So somebody asked this question the other day on our Locked On Mavs Insider
the
text thing. And it was hey, looking at the Mavs, because I feel like there's a lot of Mavs fans that right now it's all right, well, what does our future look like? What does this next 10 years look like? And somebody asked a question hey, what does the Mavs next 10 years look like compared to the rest of the NBA? Is it does it suck as bad as it feel? Or maybe are we a little bit better than what we think it is? And it really made me start thinking of all right, what other teams? And it brought me back to this point too of saying, man, it's so hard to predict. Like so much stuff changes over the course of 5 years. Especially 10 years. Good luck trying to predict what franchise is going to look like what in 10 years. But like it also made me go through this like kind of exercise with the whole league of which fan base, which organization is the most like predictable of like what the next 10 years looks like. And it honestly had me having Dallas kind of like in the middle.
Can you tell me the starting lineup of the Dallas Mavericks 10 years ago?
10 years ago is 2015.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
One of the most hated players of all time, starting next to one of the most beloved players of all time.
Hated players of all time?
Mavs players of all time.
Rondo?
The Rondo, Monte Ellis, Chandler Parsons, Tyson Chandler, Dirk, Jameer Nelson season was 10 years ago.
That's wild. That was 10 years
That's
ago.
wild. Devin Harris was 31 and on the team. He was in his prime playing on the team. Now he's in the broadcast booth. Like 10 years is that's a long time.
That is a long time.
Amari Stoudemire played 23 games for that team. Guess who was on that team?
Vince Carter.
The undeniable. You can't get rid of him. Dwight Powell was on that team. He played 24 games.
Yeah, because he came over with Rondo.
He came over in the Rondo trade. That's absolutely right. Ricky Lito was on that team.
The Dwight Powell trade.
Let's talk about 10 years in the future. How do the Mavericks back up to some of these teams? Why is Isaac feeling good about the Mavs 10 years in the future? We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started unless you're watching any All-Star festivities. Then it's going to start in like 20 minutes or so, and then it'll stop, and then it'll start again after like 20 minutes of some kind of skit or something like that. But with FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game. So even if you missed the opening tip or want to bet on the fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in on the action. Go check it out. See what is available for you at FanDuel. Isaac, your boy Lamar, the leader in the clubhouse for the MVP.
Should have won
NFL
this year.
Plus 450. Josh Allen plus 550. The actual pick is Joe Burrow plus 650. Pat Mahomes plus 800. Jaden Daniels is plus 950. And then Jalen Hurts plus 1700 on the NFL side. So go check out that. NFL draft. Who do you think's going number one?
Should be Abdul Carter.
Totally threw him on the spot. Abdul Carter second plus 220. Cam Ward minus 140. You got to go. What? Cam Ward's quarterback, right? You got to go quarterback there. Check it all out. See what is available at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Go check it out. FanDuel.com. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Welcome to Dallas, a city in turmoil.
It's a great drop. All right, let me play a game with you. And this is the best way for me to do this segment. Let me play a game with you. I'm going to tell you, we're just going to do this or like us or them.
Yeah.
Mavs, and I'm going to give you a team and you tell me which team or organization you're like, all right, I'm more confident in that, considering assets, young players and everything for the next 10 years.
10 years. Okay, 10 years. So 2035, a fake year.
Yeah, I'll give you some probably easy ones first. We'll speed through some. Spurs.
I'll take the Spurs.
Yeah, Wolves.
I don't know. Alex Rodriguez is their owner now. I don't know what to expect from them. They when you change ownership, you just don't know. Present company included, you don't know what happens when you change ownership. So I'll go Wolves just because of Anthony Edwards. But
how soon does the Ant trade rumor start?
Stop. I'll actually go Mavericks. Because I think their next 3 years is going to be better than the next. Yeah.
OKC.
Because you're talking about all 10 years, right? I'm evaluating all 10 years. Yeah.
All 10 years. Yeah.
OKC for sure. OKC.
Lakers.
I'll take the Lakers. Damn.
I mean, you have to because Luka.
I do.
Magic.
I'll take the Magic.
Me too.
They got Paolo.
Rockets.
I'll take the Rockets.
I think so too.
The Rockets have 22-year-old Ahmed, 22-year-old Şengün, 22-year-old Jalen Green, 21-year-old Jabari Smith, and 23-year-old Tari Eason. Like, oof.
Yeah. So like, I honestly had all of those for sure. Then I had a group of like question marks.
Yeah.
And let's go through these. Memphis.
Man, Memphis is they have the injury bug just as bad. But
It's so hard. I don't know how to
I'll take
predict.
Memphis. They have 2 All-Stars. I'll take them.
Also, I just don't know how to predict Jaw's future, but
I know.
sure, yeah, Memphis.
He
Atlanta.
can do the dunk contest though.
Atlanta.
I'll take the Mavs.
No Jalen Johnson, Ishashe, love.
Fine. No, I'll take the next 3 years of Kyrie and AD over that.
Me too. Detroit.
They won 21 games last 5 years. So it's like, I don't know. They're gonna completely break out of that.
How high are you on Cade Cunningham though? That's the thing.
I know. I'll take the Pistons. I'll take the talent.
Okay. Milwaukee. So Giannis is just like
so
31, so you're probably getting what, 6 more years of Giannis?
It depends on how the athleticism goes, right? Like he's the bagless MVP. He's not. I'll take the Bucks.
Okay, because Giannis. Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
Like
the Knicks. I'll take the Knicks for sure.
No picks and stuff, but all the guys are fairly.
Yeah, who are the ages of their guys are like
late
Bridges
20s?
is 28, Hart is 29, OG is 27, Brunson's 28. He was on the young All-Stars, which I thought was really funny. He's 2 years older than Tatum. Towns is 29, so it's like they're right all in their primes. I'll take them.
Okay. Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics for sure.
The only thing that made me pause about the Celtics was their money situation.
You put PJ Washington into the young guys category. He is the same age as Jason Tatum.
No, I didn't say.
I know. It's like
age. I'm just saying their money stuff. Like,
yeah, it is a lot. They're about to sell the team because of it.
Cleveland.
I'd take Cleveland still. I think
they're
already good right now. That's
like
the thing.
A 2-year wonder, or
isn't Mobley like 23?
Yeah. Okay.
Garland's not old.
Miami.
Now give me the Mavs. Even though it's Miami.
South Beach.
I know. I'll still take the Mavs.
Okay. This one's interesting. Denver, because how long does Jokic play?
Well, he's about to be 30. Denver was an interesting one because I started to compare teams. Jokic is gonna be 30 in February, like in 2 days. He's gonna be 30. Murray's gonna be 28 in like a week. Gordon is 29. MPJ is 26. He's a little older than I even thought.
Yeah.
And so you're like, all right, their time is now. Is the next 3-4 year window for them better than the Mavs' next 3-4 year window?
Does Jokic retire before 34?
That's the thing. I don't know. How long do horses live?
I don't know. But if like Jokic plays until he's like 37, which he probably won't, like he's still going to be amazing.
Horses live 25 to 30 years.
Oh crap.
Donkeys live to 40.
I feel like you have to take Denver because of Jokic.
Yes, I would take that.
Okay, wild card here, Cooper Flag team.
They got to get him.
Yeah, whoever. I'm just saying, like whoever it is that gets Cooper Flag.
Oh, and you're just saying wild card any team. I would take the Mavs because who are the teams poised to get him right now? Wizards, Pelicans, Jazz, Charlotte, or Toronto? Oof. Those are the top 5.
Okay. This next group of teams, I'm pretty confident taking Dallas the next 10 years. Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have your young stud. Probably going to trade Markin in this offseason. Portland.
They have a lot of interesting pieces, but yeah, I'd still take the Mavs next 10 years.
I know. It's like they should be what Houston is because they have so many young pieces, but it's like they're just not. Phoenix.
Yeah, for sure the Mavs.
Yeah,
the Mavs are about to get Kevin Durant.
Don't bank it. The Clippers.
Clippers are better right now, but if healthy, I think the Mavs are better still. So I'll take the Mavs.
Yeah, I'll take the Mavs too. Kings.
Yeah, Mavs.
Have fun, Sacramento. I mean, Washington, Hornets, Raptors.
How dare you mention the Wizards on here? The Wizards are going to be bad for 20 years to get a player anywhere close to as good as Luka.
Can we just beg for Cooper Flag not to go there? I mean, and then like Nets.
Would you rather him go to New Orleans or the Wizards? Like as an NBA fan, as an NBA fan.
Wizards. I'm so sick of New Orleans stuff. Like,
sorry, Jake.
Nets, Sixers, Bulls.
I don't know what the Nets are doing. Bulls, yeah, the Sixers is a mess. They at least have Tyrese Maxey though, but
yeah,
the Paul George contract is a disaster.
Bulls, I don't know. You're like the kings of the East. My point of doing that is like you are. I don't want to try to do like hey, it's not. I mean, because you're still like in that now. You're entering the purgatory land of searching for the next star and all the stuff. So, but there's other franchises that I think it would just be like I think the lights are just a little bit dimmer right now, especially looking at the future. And it's like, all right, at the current moment, you at least have some draft picks, Lively and Christie, looking towards the future, and also like you have two stars and a Kyrie and AD that helps you win now the next couple of years. So there you go.
Your present is not as bad. I think this whole podcast we take this, the present is not as bad as it seems because right now they're all injured. We're not seeing the team on the floor. And so we're going to do brutal. Yeah. We're going to do the optimism thing all summer. Everybody get healthy and see where we are. But there you go. That's where the Mavericks are right now. That's how screwed they are in the future or not screwed. Guys, check out the QR code, links in the description, different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.